Michel Foucault's concept of governmentality. Michel Foucault's concept of governmentality may sound complex at first, but it becomes more understandable when we break it down. It is all about how governments, organizations, and even individuals manage and control people in society. Foucault introduced this idea to help us think about power in a new way. He wanted to move away from the traditional idea of power being just about rulers and laws. Instead, he explored how power works in everyday life, shaping how we think, behave, and live. To understand governmentality, imagine you are part of a group trying to organize a community event. You need to make decisions, set rules, and make sure everyone works together smoothly. This process is a small-scale example of what governmentality is about. It is not only about enforcing rules but also about guiding and influencing people's choices. Foucault argued that in modern societies, this is how power often operates, not through force but by shaping the way people think and act. One key aspect of governmentality is the focus on managing populations. Foucault pointed out that governments have shifted from ruling over land and resources to managing people. For example, governments collect data on birth rates, death rates, health, and employment. They use this information to make policies such as improving healthcare or creating jobs. While this sounds positive, Foucault showed that it is also a way of controlling people. By defining what is normal or healthy, governments influence how people live their lives. Think about public health campaigns encouraging people to exercise or eat healthier. These are examples of governmentality. They are not forcing anyone to do anything, but they are guiding behavior by creating a sense of what is right or good. Foucault called this type of power pastoral power, which means caring for people while also directing them. This is similar to how a shepherd cares for and guides their sheep. Foucault also linked governmentality to the rise of modern institutions, such as schools, hospitals, and prisons. These institutions do more than just serve their immediate purposes. For example, schools teach more than just math or history. They also instill discipline, punctuality, and respect for authority. Hospitals not only treat illnesses but also define what it means to be healthy or sick. Prisons not only punish crimes but also aim to reform behavior. All of these contribute to shaping individuals in ways that fit into society's expectations. Another important part of governmentality is the role of self-governance. Foucault explained that power is not just something imposed on us from above. We also govern ourselves based on what we believe is expected of us. For example, think about how we behave in public. Even without a police officer present, we follow rules like waiting in line or keeping our voices down. This is because we have internalized the idea of how we should act. Foucault called this the conduct of conduct, meaning how people are led to regulate their own behavior. Governmentality is also closely linked to the economy. Foucault showed how governments use economic policies to influence society. For instance, by offering tax benefits for businesses, governments can encourage economic growth. Similarly, welfare programs can be used to reduce poverty and promote social stability. However, these measures also guide how people behave, such as encouraging them to work or save money in certain ways. Foucault was particularly interested in how governmentality operates in modern democracies. He argued that even in systems that promote freedom and individual rights, there are subtle ways of exercising control. For example, political campaigns often use persuasive messages to shape public opinion. Media and advertisements also play a role in influencing how people think and act. While these may not feel like direct forms of control, they are still powerful ways of guiding behavior. Foucault's idea of governmentality helps us understand that power is not always about domination or coercion. It can also be about shaping the conditions in which people live, think, and make choices. This makes it a useful concept for analyzing how societies function. It encourages us to question the systems and practices that we often take for granted. Why do we accept certain norms or rules? Who benefits from them? How are our choices influenced by forces we may not even be aware of? For example, think about the idea of success. Society often defines success in terms of wealth, career achievements, or material possessions. This idea influences how we set our goals and measure our self-worth. But where does this definition come from? Foucault's concept of governmentality invites us to think critically about such questions. It helps us see how societal norms are created and maintained, often serving the interests of certain groups over others. In conclusion, Foucault's concept of governmentality offers a way to understand how power operates in modern societies. It is not just about laws or authority figures, but also about the subtle ways in which people are guided and managed. From public policies to cultural norms, governmentality shows us that power is everywhere, shaping our lives in ways we may not always notice. If you found this explanation helpful and want to learn more about ideas like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring you more content that makes complex ideas easy to understand. Thank you for watching.